Doing a live fantasy football mock draft tonight. It's August. Can't wait to get these going. So before we do everything here, I'm going to, well, first of all, I'll post the link in the comments here so you guys can sign up and join us over here. I currently have the 5th pick. Our co-host for tonight has the 9th pick. So we'll start this mock draft as soon as we get a full lobby here. But let's do the intros here. Please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store. As always, I'm wearing something from the merch stores. Our navy or royal blue Walter football t-shirt. Can't see colors tonight, apparently. Royal blue Walter football t-shirt. One of the classiest shirts I own. You can get any shirt here, any color. You can get long sleeve hoodie, women's tank top, infant onesie. You get 20% off sale. We have more than just shirts. We have mugs, playing cards, mouse pads, etc. We have so much here. We have our books here, Amazon. My most recent book is Jerks of the College Years, where I made fun of a lot of people at Penn State. I was there for 6 years, so I had a lot of writing material. And my first book was The Safety and a Field Goal, which is a top 5 topic book about the NFL. And please consider super chats and super stickers. That is the best way to support the show. Joining us tonight is making his debut on the Walter Football After Dark show is HarambeSlayer. Harambe, you are one of our top contributors in Super Chats tonight. So welcome to the show. How are you?
Yeah, it's good to be here. A long-time listener. So I originally found you guys with Aton like 4 years ago or something like that. You guys were co-hosting during NFL, and I got hooked ever since. So it's really fun to be here to discuss some of the things that I've seen in sports books, which we're going to do after the draft. So it should be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. So, stay tuned after the draft because we're going to talk about some ways you can exploit props on sports books, which is actually like when you sent this over to me, I'm like, holy crap, like this is actually like pretty genius. So while we, if you want to give someone like a preview while we wait, because I'm gonna post the link on X right now. Not to discuss the whole thing fully because we just don't have time right now. Like, do you want to like talk briefly about like what you found or what you could possibly do during the NFL season?
Yeah, so I think it was probably around the same time you guys in Aton. So I didn't really switch to gambling, I guess, until 2022-ish. Before that, I was doing DFS because that's all that was legal in Kansas. But anyways, so I forget which game it was. There was like a Patriots Cardinals game, and they had this boost on there and on BetMGM called this Lions boost. And anyway, so I look at it and goes, that seems like a pretty good bet, but I was pretty green to gambling at the time. And you bet it. You go, man, what the heck? That line was really sharp, and they put it on the front page there. So I was thinking, man, I felt a little bit swindled, which that's what those things are. They're really sucker bets. So that's what I'm here to talk about. So I started keeping track of them, and I started leveraging them for my own benefit. So that's what we're going to talk about because I've recorded, quite literally thousands of these things over the last, 4 years. So that's what we'll talk about afterward.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. You sent me this huge Excel sheet. Like, oh my god, like it is awesome. It is like really cool how you were able to find stuff like this. So I can't wait to delve into this. And we have 6 spots available, so we're gonna start very soon. Now, I mean, obviously you've seen the shows. Have you done any fantasy drafts here yet, or like how much do you play fantasy? Because I mean, obviously you just said you bet, but like, how much do you do fantasy?
So I only have 3 or 4 leagues now. I used to play a ton more, before gambling became a thing in the state. You kind of get your fill from betting, so you don't need as many. Most of them are with friends. So I've got probably 3 or 4 with a bunch of pretty sharp guys in there. There's always a dud or two in the friend team leagues, but most of the guys are pretty sharp. So I got a dynasty league, a keeper league with some really weird rules that has been around forever. And then there's always a redraft league or 2 that I end up in. So
you always get some like 1 or 2 bad drafters in there. I feel like you almost have to in the home leagues. Like it's kind of a shame. I don't know if you've experienced this, but I like before COVID, I used to do so many drafts live, and like it's not. I haven't done a live draft since COVID, and it feels like everything's changed. Like now, a lot of people do like I don't know DFS and best ball. Like I was in a league where the league operated since like 1999, and the COVID he didn't even do the commissioner didn't do a COVID or draft during COVID year or league during COVID year because he thought the league would get canceled, the NFL would get canceled that season. It didn't, but obviously, he thought it might, and then he just never came back to it. He's like, you know what? I like DFS more. I like best. Well, it was not really best ball yet, but he just liked it so much more, like the other stuff. So he just didn't. It just didn't go back to it. So like, was that your experience as well? Like, have you done fewer? I mean, you said you were down to 3 or 4. Is that because of like the changes that have been made recently, or is that just other interest?
Well, I think part of it is I don't know. I guess all the other guys my age are also getting married and they have several kids too, so that kind of ties people down. So really, we just have one main league, and I think 50% of the other 2 leagues I'm in have these other guys in them too. So really, since COVID though, I don't think it really changed that much for me. It's more just about playing within my friend group, to be honest. So, and I guess that friend group has kind of stayed the same. So.
Okay, having kids and stuff will definitely change that, because like I've been in a league since 2002. This is the one that Kenny and I've been in forever, and like we used to meet all the time live, and then like people started having kids in our group probably like around 2014, 2015, and it's kind of like that's when it kind of stopped. So looks like we have a full room. I'm going to start this draft right now. And we got a fancy noise there. Do we have 16 rounds? We don't have 16 rounds. I have to fix it. So anyone watch this, keep in mind this, for some reason, only 15 rounds here. I don't know what happened exactly. But like every time I come back to this, I would just like, kind of forget like what I'm doing here. Because I don't use Sleeper. So I'm not used to it. So I am up right now. I'm going to take I'm gonna take James Cook number 5. I picked number 5 for a reason because I think it's the hardest spot to draft in. Just because I always like taking James Cook late. I take him at 112 sometimes, and you get him 105 here, and then you really don't get the running back you wanted 208 usually. So I just wanted to practice the hardest spot and just kind of feel that way. So I don't know how do you is there you picked 9th? Is there a reason you picked 9th, or is it just random?
No, it's a spot that I haven't really picked too often. So I wanted to get I want to get some practice there. So I think it's also a little bit of a tough spot because you're usually past all the elite players and you're kind of dabbling in around 2 players, I feel like. Mm-hmm. So here, I know I'm always inclined to go running back first. It's just a question of who.
Right.
So I'm going to go Saquon here.
Okay, so you took Saquon Barkley, and he like why him over? Because I mean, there are several running backs you could take. Like why Barkley?
Yeah, I mean, HN. I just really don't know how Miami is going to do. And Christian McCaffrey, there's a ton of injury concern there. Yeah. And I guess the next one that probably would have been Hampton or Genty there. But I might be able to get one of them back on the turn. So.
Yeah, you can tell this is a Walter football mock draft because there's no McCaffrey here. Like even Hampton over him. Like McCaffrey might fall out of the first round. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I feel like in most leagues he's going to go first round. So what are you saying?
I guess my thoughts. I probably would have went Hampton, but I'm just wondering how much Keaton Mitchell is going to work into that offense. So I guess I'm thinking his workload could be larger than I than I'm expecting, and
Yeah.
that could cut into Hampton a little bit. So I don't know. I'm slightly downgrading him a little bit.
Yeah. Mike McDaniel came out today and he said he was going to use every running back. And I'm like, of course you're going to use every running back. Like, it's like, yeah, if you give a guy 2 carries, you're using him, right? Like, I feel, yeah, go ahead.
I don't really believe that at all. I mean, he's going to go to Hampton most of the time. It's just I'm wondering if Hampton eats into his passing down work enough where, it causes him to drop. So.
Yeah, and we officially had Christian McCaffrey in the second round, 201. I mean, you can flip flop Lamb McCaffrey, but that's I have not seen him go second round. I've done like 100. I think I've done 105 best ball drafts, and I have not seen him fall to the second round yet. I've seen him go like 111. I think that's the latest, but look, there's definitely a major concern from injury. But at some point you have to take him, right? Like, I was on a fantasy counselor show, and like and you're up, by the way. We both don't like McCaffrey this year. I'm like, if he falls to like round 4, if you're in a league where everyone thinks the same as you, and if he falls around 4, like you're going to take him at some point, right? So the question is like, when is the reward outweigh the risk? So, all right. So what are you thinking here? At 204, a lot of the running backs are gone. In fact, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So I guess what I'm thinking here is basically the running backs I all just mentioned are already gone. I got 30 seconds here. So I'm probably looking at going either Justin Jefferson or AJ Brown here. I think Justin Jefferson, like, I know, man, McCarthy was bad last year, but he still put up some okay numbers. So if that's the floor, then, you'd think theoretically his ceiling could be a lot higher. So I'm going to pick Jefferson because I guess I already have enough of AJ Brown, but it's probably a coin toss for me there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really a shame for Jefferson with that quarterback situation. Like it looked like it would be a lot better for him with Murray, just by default, because McCarthy was so bad last year. But apparently Murray can't distance himself from McCarthy, and it's not because McCarthy's playing well; it's because they both suck. It's a shame. All right, I'm gonna be up at 1 pick here. Drake London just went. We'll see what our friend Butters does, and then I will be up at 208. I assume I'm going receiver. I think it's a little too early for one of these running backs, but I haven't done a real draft yet. I've done so much best ball, but I haven't done like a real mock draft, and we'll be doing a bunch of these in August, so it's always a fun time. So Chris Olave goes, interesting. So you had the choice between Jefferson and Brown, and Brown is still available as far as I can see. So I'm going to take AJ Brown here. I think he has the best season of his career. It's kind of crazy that you think about the quarterbacks he's played with throughout his whole career. It's been like Ryan Tannehill, Marcus Mariota, and Jalen Hurts is he's a great runner, not a great downfield thrower. Tanner McKee, Gardner Minshew, like these are not great players here at all. And so now he gets the best downfield thrower from last year. And I love AJ Brown this year. So yeah, you were considering him. So yeah, you obviously like him too.
Yeah, I'm a Pats fan, so I'm a little bit biased in that way.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know. I guess I wanted more. I'm thinking of this almost as a DraftKings best ball because I've probably done about 12 of those now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I really like AJ Brown this year. I think he's highly motivated, and he's going to have a great year. He's wanted to play with the Patriots for a long time. It was his fan team growing up. So I'm really excited for him. I think the offense as a whole is going to be much better as well. So I mean, I don't think the Patriots' record is going to be as good, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see. So.
Okay, so yeah, you're a pass fan. So I mean, you just said you don't think the record's gonna be as good. I mean, obviously they went 14-3 last year. It's hard to duplicate that, but they could theoretically be a better team, but have a worse record because they have a tougher schedule. Like, is that what you're thinking, or do you think there's gonna be decline like elsewhere, like defensively, or what the coach situation with Diana Rossini? And I'm up, by the way. But like, what do you think about that whole situation?
I mean, there's a little drama there, but I think they're going to keep it under wraps. I mean, how they've had enough scandals there where it's like, okay, that's just it's just how New England is, I guess. Now it's like they're so I don't know. They're used to it, I guess, is what I'm saying there. But I guess my main concern, it's really the schedule. It's just going to be tougher, so they're just going to lose a couple more games. The defense will probably be fine. I don't really see too many major changes there that, the main concern is still the offensive line. So, can they keep May upright long enough?
Yeah. I really think that the Will Campbell injury really screwed them late last season. I mean, he missed time and he came back, but he was definitely not 100%. You could tell. And Seattle had the whole thing where they said he was tipping the plays. Like his stance was they were able to determine whether it was a run or a pass. And like if you know that, that's massive. And Seattle's defense just shut down the Patriots in the Super Bowl. You're up here. But that was, I mean, I thought that was the biggest factor in Seattle just dominating the Patriots, their offense in the Super Bowl. I mean, they have a great defense regardless, but still, it was, it's a big help if you know what the team's going to do. All right, you are up with 309. You took Barkley and then Jefferson. So what are you doing here?
Well, I think I'm in a little trouble here. We've had a string of running backs go.
Yeah.
And I was about to go Jacobs there. I think he is actually going to have a pretty good year.
Yeah, Jacobs just went. Yeah.
So I'm going to have to pivot off that. But I also kind of want to grab a running back. So I'm probably going to have to go. I like going fourth here, though, but I think I'm going to go Kyren Williams. And I know there's some downside there with Corum, but he still had a pretty good year, so just don't want to get too far behind there.
Yeah, where he's being drafted in best ball, I think is too early. I think redraft is different, and I think they should be closer together. I think it's kind of crazy that Corum's going 8th round in best ball and Williams is going like mid 3rd. Like they should not be 5 rounds apart. Like that's insane. But in redraft, I think it's you can make the case to take him there. I don't like Rashee Rice, who was just taken. In fact, Fantasy Counselor and I are going to do a show tomorrow on our top busts, and Rashee Rice is definitely going to be on that list. And I could have put Henderson there too, because I'm just not convinced he plays more than Stevenson. What do you think as a Patriots fan? What do you think about that Patriots running back situation?
Yeah, I'm really confused why Stevenson is going so late there. He's going to be the top dog. You're getting a starting running back really late, and if you look at the games, I guess the main thing is his fumbleitis going to come back? Because he got put in the doghouse for it. So there's injury risk and fumbleitis risk, and if either of those come back, Henderson could take the job and not really give it back, and maybe Stevenson gets like just a 3rd down role.
Yeah,
so I'm picking here again.
Mm-hmm.
Man, there's running backs just flying off the board.
Seriously, it's pretty bleak if you need a running back. There are like a couple still left, but they're all going to be gone by round 5.
I know. It's a question of how much do I reach at this point?
Yeah.
I got 26. So I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna draft Devonta Smith. I think he's poised for a really good year here. The question is, can he stay healthy? But I think he's just going to get all the workload. And there's reports of Mekhi Lennon having hamstring problems, all through the spring, and now he has another one cropping up. So it could basically just be him and Goddard getting all the targets.
Yeah, and Mekhi Lemon has some other problems too. We haven't really said it. Yeah, I haven't really said it because I don't. As to quote Charlie Campbell, he said, "I don't want to get sued." By saying it. When Charlie said that like live, and I didn't know what it was, I'm like, "Oh, what could this possibly be?" And then Charlie told me afterward, I'm like, oh, okay, I understand now. It's
Yeah.
I would say it's in the Antonio Brown territory. Okay, let me make my pick here. Did McConkey go? Did I miss that? Did Lad McConkey go? I may have missed that. I don't see him either. So I'm an idiot. I'm on the running back. You could. I got to get used to this. I said I always make mistakes here. Like when we come back, I'm like where's McConkey? And like I'm on the running back, of course. I would have gone either Judkins or Tootin had they been there, just solidify running back. But there's really not much left at the position. There's like one guy I would consider. I think there are two. I would say there are two guys I would consider right now in round 5, and then there might be like 1 or 2 in round 6. I like this is so much tougher than best ball, or maybe it's because a lot of smart people are in this draft or something. But I can usually get like 4 good running backs in the first 5 or 6 rounds in best ball, and like here I'm just like struggling to get 3. It's a lot different.
Yeah, and I guess that's what's going on. I mean, you have all these people drafting running backs instead of either reaching for quarterbacks really early, or I don't know, just in a public lobby on best ball, you probably have Patrick Mahomes drafted by now.
Yeah. Time's asking, this is PPR. Yes, it's PPR. Yeah. What's up, guys? How bullish you on Jordan Tyson? I like Tyson. Jadarian Price I would have taken around 5. It's a good pick. Yeah, I like. Well, I don't want to talk about players who were drafted, but I do like Jordan Tyson. He is. I think I like him better than Cardinal Tate. You have any feel for the 2 receivers who were chosen, Tate versus Tyson? Because I know some people like Tate. Some people I respect like Tate. What do you think?
Personally, I prefer Tyson. I guess, but I don't know. Maybe I've been indoctrinated by your shows. I'm a little bit down on the New Orleans side of things compared to you. I know you're pretty high on New Orleans. I think the Panthers win the division there. I know they're not. I don't know. I really hate Bryce Young, but man, I don't know. I guess I have to give credit to New Orleans because they beat the teams that they were supposed to be, and they handily beat them as well. Yeah. So, but also, they kind of racked up those wins against poorer competition. So I think it's really to be determined for me. I think that's kind of where I have the main disagreement with you is, New Orleans. So.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I've been wrong many times. Saints may not win the division. I do like their chances this year. I at least like their offense. Josh Allen goes 502. Usually he's usually gone round 3 in best ball. No, I can see the Panthers winning it. I think it's probably like a coin flip for me with Panthers and Saints. I think they're the 2 best teams. And I kind of think that maybe people are sleeping on, and people might be sleeping on Tampa Bay, and I'll talk about that in a second. So, so Jackson goes. That was, I think, a auto draft there. There's some good value receiver here. Part of me wants to continue with running back, though. It's tough choice. I will. I just given how deep receiver is, I think I'm going DeAndre Swift. I don't think I've drafted him a single time in best ball this summer. But he is usually I get better running backs I like more. I don't hate him. He's just like kind of fine. But I think he's worth taking here as a third running back. I really want 4 good running backs on the team that just like going strong on the other positions. That's just a priority for me because running backs are so scarce this season. But anyway, as far as Tampa is concerned, they started last year. I think they were 6-2, I think. And then they just collapsed at the end of the year. You're gonna be up on 1 pick. Stevenson goes. It collapsed in the end of the year, but like Mayfield got hurt. Ibuka got hurt, and some other guys did too. Wilson goes, I was considering him as the receiver. You're up right now, but I just think that like people are just kind of forgetting what they did in the first half of last year when they were healthy. And I know they lost a couple of guys like Jamel Dean and Levante David, but I think that they could bounce back potentially. Yeah, I think I don't think you can count them out. Atlanta I would count out though. So all right, what are you thinking here at 509?
I'm thinking I have to grab another running back at this point. I'm gonna have to go Tony Pollard, which is less than ideal at this point, but I got to make do at this point. There's just so many running backs off the board.
Yeah.
He's not completely terrible. He still has something left. So, and I think Tennessee will be somewhat improved.
Yeah. I've been calling him vanilla pudding on my shows on the videos I've been doing. It's like I think vanilla pudding's fine, you know. It's like it's nothing exciting, but it's solid and it'll get the job done if you want dessert, you know. So that's how I feel about Pollard. He's obviously not someone you want long term, but it's only for 1 year here. You would expect the Tennessee would get a running back. They really wanted Jeremiah Love, and Arizona beat them to the punch in the draft.
That's just going to make it sense to me, especially after they signed Algier. Algier must be pissed. Like they went out and drafted him. Like after they signed him to the deal, like he thinks he's getting out of, Atlanta where he was stuck behind this guy, and then now he has the same exact situation again where he's competing for touches. Like
it's pretty sad. Like watch him in his next stop go to somewhere else. And then like the same thing happens to him again. Just like this guy just like snake bitten, and it's unfortunate because I mean the 1 year he had on his own, he was pretty good for Atlanta. The year before Bijan got there. So it's I don't know. It's a shame, but I don't know what are you gonna do. So yeah, you go.
Oh, I had him in Dynasty, so I'm well aware of Algier's woes.
That sucks. sorry to hear that. Yeah, you're gonna be up at one pick. Yeah, I would be really frustrated if I were him. I mean, look, he got paid and stuff, and this actually could be like good long term for him because he's just not racking up any carries. And so maybe he's a running back who plays well when he's like 31 or 32. You've seen some guys like that, like Raheem Mostert was that because he just never got any carries early in his career. You're up here at 604. So to recap your picks, you took Barkley, then Jefferson Williams, Kyron Williams, Devontae Smith, Pollard. So you went running back, receiver. You've alternated them. So what are you doing at 604?
Well, I guess there's some other running backs later I can chase after, and I'm probably going to go upside at receivers. So I'm thinking I'm going to go Jameson Williams here.
Nice.
An option, but I think since I already have Devonta Smith, maybe I wait for it to swing around. So, if he drops to me, if not, I can grab someone else down there. So,
I love Jameson Williams. Like what he did at the end of last year, I thought that was pretty special, and it all started in that Washington game. The one where Amon-Ra St. Brown did that the Trump dance when Trump was in attendance, but like Jameson Williams, like that was his first real that was the first of like many great games he had to finish the year, and that was the game Dan Campbell took over as the play caller, and so it's like no coincidence that he let go of the guy basically who just wasn't getting the ball to Williams, and really was just giving Gibbs too few carries in relation to Montgomery. And so, if Dan Campbell's just going to keep that going, you would expect Jameson Williams to just keep playing well. And I've heard some like negativity on Williams in like regular or just like random fantasy videos I watch or listen to. And I'm like, I were you not paying attention to what happened last year? Feels like that is kind of a clear sign that they're going to keep getting the ball. I think Josh Baker is about to time out here. So he goes Drake May. That sucks. There's a timeout. I was gonna pair him with AJ Brown. Oh well. Okay, well that makes my decision easier. So I want to close out a running back here, and I'm looking at these teams. Jorge at 1, he only has 2 running backs. Troy McClure only has 2. Zach Seaman only has 2, and Trump Best only has 1. So I suspect that they're going to take running backs here. So I'm just going to take my running back, and then Blake Corum, who I always draft. Um, and just I think I'm fine at running back now with the 4 here. Maybe I can add 1 later, like much later in the draft. But just having the 4 running backs, I think is pretty nice here. Okay, so Parker Washington's the receiver I would have considered there. I think he's like so polarizing, Parker Washington. I don't know if you have a read on it, but it's like it's either people love him or they hate him. There's no one like, I think Parker Washington's okay. Like I haven't heard that opinion. Like it's either like he's gonna be amazing or he's like,
yeah, I'm all aboard the train on that one. I think he's a potential league winner. He looks great in camp as well. And they're just going to keep phasing Brian Thomas Jr. out of the offense, I think. So he's poised for an amazing year.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's going to have a great year. Evans and Tyson go. Okay, so that's I was looking for Tyson. So the team 1 is just stacking up on receivers here. I was wrong. I thought he might go running back. I thought Seaman might go running back. I thought Trump Best might go running back. I was completely off with my guess here. It's like sometimes you can only make an educated guess and you're wrong. That happened to me. I was in the gold super contest, which is winner take all in 2020, and I was 3rd heading into the final week. I was 3 behind first place. I was 2 behind second place, and I was just trying to like game theory what they were going to do and just go against them, just so I can sneak up. And if they like one of them had a 1-4, I can maybe go 4-1 and catch the second place or something. And I spent like the whole week trying to figure out what they were going to do just based on their picks the whole year. And I didn't get a single pick right of what they were going to do. Like, it's such a waste of time. I'm like, what was I doing here? And it didn't matter because the guy was in first one 4-1. So nothing I would have done, even if I went 5-0, I wouldn't have caught him. So it's like so stupid. That's like what that kind of reminds me of what happened here. I'm like, oh, running back, they're going to go running backs here. It's like, no, not at all, except for Daddle. So
what's the team roster look like here?
Okay, I think this guy's Trump Best about to time out again. So surprised he's not on auto draft already. Okay, team with Tucker Kraft. Okay. Okay, so let me make my pick here. So I get to the stage of the draft where I'm like, these running backs and receivers are just okay. I can look at quarterbacks here. So this is not this is not best ball, so I don't really need to stack. So I'm gonna go with a guy who I never get, like Joe Burrow in the 7th round. I think he's gonna have an awesome year. He's healthy. His receivers are healthy and happy. Offensive line's fine. I really like the Bengals this year. What do you think about the Bengals? Because I'm all over them this year.
Yeah, I've already got money on the Bengals. I think they're going to be extremely good as well. So, they fixed some pieces up. Somebody just got hurt. Trying to remember who that was.
Is it today?
No, this was a few days ago. So somebody on defense, one of the edge rushers, I think.
Was it Shamar Stewart?
Yeah, okay. That sounds about right.
Okay. All right, you're up at 709. So you've continued to alternate running back receiver. Are we going running back again?
Yeah, I was gonna go running back. I was just about to grab my nun guy, but I got sniped again. So this is at this point, it's like I'm not sure there's any value at running back. So I think I just got to go best available. Which here.
Trying to find who my best available.
So
Joe Hurst, okay. Yeah, I'm looking at my my big board here, my cheat sheet. And I'm like, who is the best running back left? It's and the guy he just got hurt today. I don't want to give it away. Well, we can talk about it. J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins got banged up today.
Yeah, so I saw that as well. So he's potentially hurt. So that bumps the other guys up. And I guess who are you thinking that? I was thinking more it adds value to Jonah Coleman later.
Yeah.
I mean, holy, he's awful.
Yeah, Harvey stinks. I needed a huge game from Harvey. I had a great DFS lineup on that Christmas slate. I remember the 3 games on Christmas last year were like Broncos and Chiefs were the last game, and I had 3 Broncos left. I had Ingram, Sutton, and Harvey at the end, and I was like in 30 something place, and I was like, man, I have a chance to take this down. And Harvey was just like a big disappointment. He scored a touchdown, but like he didn't really do anything else. So kind of salty about that. But I never liked him coming out of college. Just like it's a guy who just doesn't see any running lanes. Like as Kenny calls him elite blindness that he has that trait. So I don't know. I do like Jonah Coleman now. I mean this injury just might not be anything. Like he could be on the field next week for all we know, but I don't know. He has such a history there. It's so hard to trust him.
Yeah, I don't really want any part of that backfield, to be honest. I don't know how they're going to be utilized, and
yeah,
I'm going to have to dip into one of these backfields though that is undesirable.
Okay. Sutton just won. I think that was an auto draft from what I heard. Speaking of Bronco players who disappointed me, Sutton, by the way, he as I said, you're up here. Sutton was one of the 3 Broncos I had on that team, and he hadn't dropped a single pass entering that game, and he dropped 2 passes, including 1 touchdown. So it's in my bad beats book at the end. So anyway, you're up here at 804. So what are you doing?
I'm probably going to grab some more receiver at this point. So I think I'm going to go Josh Downs. It's a little bit dependent on Daniel Jones there, but I think he could have a really great year.
Yeah. If Pierce is out, like there's no other receivers there. It's like Ashton Dolan and Nick Westbrook-Akine.
Yeah, I think Tyler Warren's going to eat up most of the targets, but I mean, outside of him, and maybe the checkdowns. The Taylor. He should be able to mop up what's left.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, Warren could just have a huge year for that reason. Like I don't like taking tight ends early, but like it's he could just soak up so many targets, as you were saying. All right, I'm up at 808. The receivers I was considering here are still available, so I think I made the right move taking a quarterback. So I'm gonna I know this guy's a little banged up. I don't think I'm too worried yet. Jaden Reed, he's practicing in 2 receiver sets, and Dobbins goes on auto draft. Yeah, he's practicing 2 receiver sets, or at least he was before he got dinged up. But and we still have a month left, so if he's not practicing like 2 weeks, then I'll lower him. But if he's going to be on the field so much more, then I definitely have interest. So yeah, he's one of these receivers I'm looking at like round 8, round 9, like guys who you can go running backs early and like get like some good values like Jaden Reed, Josh Downs, like your pick Josh Downs. This is why receivers are just more plentiful than running backs. Running backs are so scarce. Like I hear from your reaction, I felt the same way. I'm like man, these guys, there's no one left.
Yeah, when we got back around, 3rd round, it was just, man, it was already bare, which is, I think, a little bit unusual, but
yeah, and I think to be fair, I mean, well, until we went on auto draft, I think like most of the drafters here are sharp, and that's still the case. Obviously, it's just not the auto drafters. And so like this is going to be like pretty helpful for your regular leagues, because like as you were saying before, there's always like a doofus or 2 in your drafts, and like they could be a good friend of yours, but like it's like they're just not paying attention to what's going on. It's not a priority for them, and so they're just going to draft poorly, and you're going to be able to take advantage of that. So But here, I mean, if people are doing mock drafts, they're obviously paying attention to it. So that's why it's always a lot tougher to do these than the real drafts. I'm up right now. Quentin Johnson just went. He was the best player on my board. So I will go with the next player on my board. And that would be Wan'Dale Robinson. Like a lot of people are talking up Cardinal Tate, but I really like Wan'Dale Robinson. He got so many targets at the end of last year. Jackson Dart just really dependent on him, and I think that you're gonna see the same thing with Cam Ward in Tennessee. Prescott, you can tell this is auto draft because May and Prescott just went. Like, it's not going to happen that way. Or I guess I've seen enough best ball drafts where I've seen that too. All right, you're up right now. Jordan Addison just went off the board. You have to be. I liked Addison so much more like a month ago before we saw Kyler Murray struggle. So kind of like off the Addison train once again. So what are you doing here at 909?
Well, I gotta add more running back at some point. So let's see. I just keep going off the board. I keep thinking I'm gonna wait around and then get somebody, but it keeps not happening. So.
Why maybe the pick I'll read. My next video, Drew says my next video I'm putting out before I put in my final rankings is called How to Win Your Fantasy Football Leagues with More Than 12 People. Okay, that'd be cool. I mean, usually people just do 12. You have 5 seconds. Okay, it's a Woody Marks.
Yeah, he's got David Montgomery there, but I also got into time trouble. So
yeah, it happens. I only made this a minute draft. I guess I could have made it a minute and a half. Jonah Coleman went. I was kind of thinking maybe round 10. So so much for that. I have to reload this page, by the way. It's, I hear it ticking in my head, and it's not my explosive head syndrome. I don't know. I thought they would fix this issue. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but like sometimes when you hear that ticking at the end, when someone's like right to be like time's running out for them, like it usually goes away, but sometimes it just keeps going. Like you just keep hearing the ticking afterward. Has that ever happened to you on here? I mean, I don't know how much time you've been on Sleeper, but like, maybe it's just me. Maybe there's something wrong on my end. Like, what is that? Have you heard that at all?
No, I haven't heard that. This was my first one on Sleeper this year that I've done. Those mock drafts, at least not on my phone.
Okay, it's on your phone. Maybe that's why. So I'm doing it on my laptop. So, that could be it. But no, it was that happened last year too for me. It would just keep ticking sometimes, and I don't know why, but it would. But yeah, I guess it would be different on your phone than a laptop. So you said you were up on the clock for Marks. Was there where you're up now? I don't want to straight pick. So I was going to ask you if there was someone else you're like, oh, I should have drafted him.
I probably would have went Coleman there, but
okay. Okay, so you're up right now. You have 4 running backs, 4 receivers. You just took your 5th receiver, Romeo Doubs. As a Patriots fan, want to ask you about Romeo Doubs, and obviously you like him enough to take him 10th round. So, what are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I think he's going to eat up a lot of targets and move the chains there. And he's clearly shown in Green Bay that he can get some red zone looks, which I think early on in the season, AJ Brown's going to eat those up. But as the defense will shift over to AJ Brown, I think it'll open things up for him. So there's a lot of mouths to feed in that offense, though. So I think he's not going to score as many touchdowns, but I think he's going to have a great floor, and that's the main reason for grabbing him.
Yeah, I'm just in love with any Josh McDaniels slot receiver. Just so much upside with them, I think. All right, I'm up. I'm going to continue the tight end run here and take Dallas Goedert. Usually I like pairing him with Jalen Hurts, but Hurts, I guess I could have taken Hurts at 705. It's kind of shocked to see Joe Burrow there. But yeah, I think Goddard's gonna have a huge year. Like, if you've ever seen just paid close attention to how the Eagles offense operates, like Jalen Hurts, like read one, read two, run. Like there's no third receiver. I've said this before. Like the joke was like, who's the Eagles' third receiver? They Brown and Smith. Like who's the third receiver? It's like they have no third receiver. It's just like their third receiver is run, like from Jalen Hurts. And so like whenever Brown or Smith has been out of the lineup, Goddard has posted huge numbers, and now Brown's permanently gone. So I think Goddard's going to have a huge year. I can't believe he's going round 10. Like it just feels like such great value to get him there.
Yeah, I'm totally on board with that one too. I think I probably would have grabbed him later, but I already have way too much Eagles exposure. I'm looking at my team here and realizing, I got Barkley, Devonta Smith, and Jalen Hurts. So I'm a little overtied to the Eagles.
Yeah. You don't want like too much exposure. Although you do have Hurts for the stack, so it's not too bad. Jorge just took his quarterback Brock Purdy. It's like it's just a reason why you can just wait. Like you're getting Brock Purdy round 11. It's great value. I don't like taking quarterbacks late, and I guess no one here does either because Josh Allen was the first one off the board at 502. Denzel Boston just went 10-11. Troy McClory broke my heart, man. I was gonna take Denzel Boston. I love Denzel Boston. I liked him entering the draft. I thought he should have been a first round pick, and then he's just like lighting up training camp. Now he's practicing with the first team. I'm not surprised in the slightest, and I think I bet him to win Offensive Rookie of the Year 60-1. So I like that as well. And there's another rookie receiver I'm looking to bet right now for Offensive Rookie of the Year. So I'm up right now. Don't need another tight end. Don't really want to back up. So I'm just going down my cheat sheet here. And okay, I think we're gonna go. Let's see, another receiver. Go Jaden Higgins as Houston's number 2 receiver. I think Houston's offense should be better this year. I think with the improved offensive line, I know there's been a decline with CJ Stroud, but like it hasn't been all him because like he lost Tank Dell and that kind of made him fall apart. And then the offensive line just hasn't been that good. So I think that he could bounce back. Now, there's a chance he's just like a falling knife and just continues to struggle. But I'm willing to bet that he could bounce back a little bit, even if it's just a little bit. He was so good his rookie year. And it's not like he suffered an injury that made him worse, kind of like with Robert Griffin. So I don't know. I think Higgins worth a shot in round 11. We talked about the NFC South before. What do you think about the AFC South? Because like there's 2 contenders to the Jaguars and the Texans. Like, who do you think comes out of that?
I'm not really sure. I'm leaning Texans. I'm just not sure if the Jaguars can sustain their success. And I'm always going to go with defense, good defense there. So CJ Stroud worries me a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know. He could turn back into a pumpkin too. So
yeah, I think if CJ Stroud plays like he did in his rookie year, like they could win the Super Bowl this year. Like they have, like I said, improved offensive line. They have a good running game now, Montgomery. They have the receivers, Tank Dell coming back, Nico Collins, Higgins. I like Noel. Schultz is fine. And they had that elite defense, like arguably the best defense in the NFL. Maybe like Seattle, you could say is better, but like they have everything. If CJ Stroud bounces back, and even if it's like 80% of his rookie year, like they have everything. And I feel like I've been overlooking them. I don't have like too much exposure to them in my exactas, and I kind of want to keep adding to that. So you took Hunter Henry. You went back-to-back Patriots. So what do you think about Henry there?
Well, I needed to grab tight end. Dubes probably won't be in my starting lineup based on what I was looking at, so I didn't mind dipping there. But Hunter Henry just got an extension. Reardon, he's going to need some work, and they're still committed to Henry. I don't really expect things to change too much. With A.J. Brown opening things up, I expect, things to be open more underneath. It's sort of the same logic as with Dubes as well. So,
yeah. Yeah, Henry, I feel like with Brown there, his touchdown total might go down a little bit, but I still like him. He's going, double digit round. Like he was awesome for me last year. I had him and Drake May in my big money league with the one I'm in with Kenny. I drafted Drake May like round 10, I think, and then I took Hunter Henry like the next round after that. And that stack was awesome. I also had Achan and is it George Pickens too, so that definitely helped as well. But that stack was just awesome for me. You're up here in round 12, so you have 4 picks left. We both have four picks left. So, what are you thinking with this pick here?
Yeah, I gotta get some more depth at running back because I'm really shallow. And there's really nothing good, so I'm going to have to take a chance on one of these guys. My first one, let's see, I could probably just grab somebody later.
Go to Debo Swentz.
I think I'm going to grab another.
Yeah, Kid No Name says he's got the ticking the third. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm like, am I going insane here? You have 5 seconds, by the way. Okay, you took. Yeah, there you go.
I was looking at some picks and I was getting a little too deep for even where I wanted to be at.
Yeah,
for where we're at. So
I just got the ticking again. For me. No, I'm glad. Kid No Name is saying that he's getting it too, because it's so annoying. I can't believe he didn't fix this, because obviously once I'm done here in August, I don't come back till next August. I don't have any like real leagues here, so I only do mock drafts and sleepers. So like, there was a problem last August, and it's still the case. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, you took Texans defense, like we talked about how great they're going to be. And yeah, they got even better with Jadeveon Clowney, just giving them more depth. Can't go wrong there. Okay, well, Dontavian Wicks goes. I'm going to continue to draft receivers because there are just so many good ones I like here. Let's go with Dejon Stribling. I saw a report today, and Kenny's going to be angry at me. And he's out of the country right now. But if he's watching, it's probably too late for him to watch live right now. But when if he watches tomorrow morning, he's like, stop mentioning training camp reports. But I saw a report today saying that a longtime Niner beat writer said that Stribling has been the best receiver in Niners training camp, which like sounds great until you're like, oh wait, everyone's injured, so it's like by default. But still, it's good to hear, right, that he's not struggling. Jacoby Lane, once again, Troy McClure broke my heart. I was going to take Jacoby Lane. I was considering him in the 12th round actually as well. But I thought you can get Stribling and then Jacoby Lane, so that did not happen, unfortunately. But okay, so Singleton, Cyrus Allen goes. I have no idea what to make of Cyrus Allen. Like it seems like there's always a Chiefs player who just emerges each year. It's like, oh, this guy's awesome. And no, he just sucks. So we'll see. Maybe it'll be different with Cyrus Allen. Like it could be different,
Yeah, there's a little bit of that going on with Emmett Johnson as well. And I saw on Twitter, he took a big shot in practice, but he looks like he could steal some of the third down work, maybe. But you just don't know at this point. There's not enough information.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. I feel the same way. Man, I don't want to take a backup quarterback. There's one really good one left. This is a great quarter. I love this quarterback. Maybe that's the reason not to take a quarterback early. Like I thought I got good value with Joe Burrow in the 7th. Maybe just like my best ball brain like taking over. I have to kind of figure out what I did there. Hold on. So I'm gonna take Malachi Fields before someone else could snipe a receiver I like on my sleepers. I like Fields quite a bit. He is they trade off for him in the 3rd round. It sounds like he's the receiver 2 right now, and you can't really trust Neighbors to stay healthy. So I think Fields is pretty good. I think right now, just looking at it, if I were to make a change here, I would have instead of Joe. I think like best ball Joe Burrow is great at 705. I've never seen him drop that far. And you're up, by the way. I think that instead of Joe Burrow, I think I should have gone Kyle Monangai and just got a fifth running back because I really don't like any of these running backs here. Like, there's nothing here. You can take a shot on a Singleton or a Brian Robinson or Tank Bigsby. Like, that's fine. It's just like you need something to happen for them to do something. Like, you need an injury there. But like these receivers, I feel like with Stribling and Higgins and Fields, like they're gonna produce right now. The same thing Lane in Boston, like they're gonna produce right now. So yeah, I'm just thinking instead of Burrow, I go Monangai. And then instead of like Higgins, I go with the quarterback I like. He's still on the board, by the way. And you have 10 seconds. So yeah, I think that just kind of figuring that out. It's good to just remember that best ball and redraft are different. So you took Kenyon Sadiq at 1309. So why Kenyon Sadiq there?
Well, he's got some speed, and the Gino, I think, will target him a fair bit, but I think I mostly like, just his athleticism is the main thing.
Yeah, he's super athletic for sure. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the Jets do. I think. You see them twice a year. They've been awful recently, but they've signed some good talent. They have good offensive linemen. They have good playmakers at skill positions. So they could be. I think they could be better than people think. Or at least that's my opinion. What do you make of the Jets and the Dolphins? Obviously, the Dolphins suck, but like, what do you make of the other teams in your division?
Yeah, so I think the Jets, they're going to be a middle of the road team, which is an improvement for them.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna win some sneaky games. I think, but they're also the Jets, so they're gonna crap their pants a couple times a year too. So, but I think they're gonna be a middle of the road team and probably better than most people would expect. So
they are the Jets. They have that. I don't know if do you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
No.
You say no? I couldn't hear you. Right?
No, I don't.
Okay. It's basically like Seinfeld. Like that's the guy who wrote Seinfeld. But like, there's one episode where you're up right now. There's one episode where a friend of Larry David is the main character there. Like he kind of offs himself and he leaves a suicide note. And it's like I couldn't take it anymore. The Jets have disappointed me too much.
Yeah, that is the life of a Jets fan. So the thought process on Pacheco here is I think there's a non-zero chance that he isn't utilized like Montgomery. I know he just sprained his MCL, but he's supposed to be ready by week 1. So there's a chance that I get, David Montgomery value here, which I kind of have to take a chance at running back with just how my roster construction has gone. So I'm okay with that so late. Basically, last pick's just going to be kicker. So
yeah, I'm cheating a little bit. I'm taking another receiver. I should probably go kicker defense, but yeah, I'm gonna pretend that this is 16 rounds and then like round 15. It's okay. I probably should have said my plan there, but yeah, I don't know. Next draft I'll do tomorrow. I'll have it up for 16 rounds, or at least I'll try. No, I took Pat Bryant. We're calling him like Patty Ice for some reason in training camp. So they like him a lot. He was the 3rd round pick. Looked good at the end of last year, and I think people kind of got off the scent because they traded for Jalen Waddle. But Pat Bryant plays a different position than Jalen Waddle, and it's kind of has the Courtland Sutton role, so you have to worry about that. But like I've seen speculation that they could just get rid like have Bryant surpass Sutton. Zachariah Branch for some reason. Why didn't he show up in my board? He should have been there. That should have been Zachariah Branch's set. For some reason, he's not here. I have to kind of look into that. Where's he? Okay, if he's lower for some reason, I don't know why. All right, anyway, so that's another reason to you learn stuff in draft all the time. I'm like, okay, Zachariah Branch for some reason was too low. in my big board. So I'm going defense here, and what I love to do, I love to play matchups, and the Jaguars have the Browns week 1. So as much as I like Denzel Boston, and I do like Casey Concepcion as well, and I like Judkins, it's still either Watson or Shador Sanders, or who knows, maybe it would be Dylan Gabriel, or Taylor Green. We'll see. And it's it's still the Browns with a new head coach. And it could be like, we'll see what the weather is, and you're up with your final pick. We'll see what the weather is, but it could be like 90 and humid in Jacksonville at 1 o'clock, which could just be a disaster for the Browns, especially if they're dumb enough to wear the brown jerseys. And let's face it, like they probably didn't figure that out. Yeah, I'd be looking to draft the Jaguars defense. Here, I don't know who their week 2 opponent is, but week 1 certainly looks good with the Browns at home. You took the Rams kicker, Mavis. Is that just because score a lot of points plus dome?
Yeah, I didn't really put any thought into that. Just grab the top listed kicker there. It's just a mock draft. But yeah, they'll score a ton of points. Kicker is just really you're just gonna have to wait a few weeks and grab somebody off the waiver wire. Is usually the best way to go. If you go into your league and you just show all players instead of just what's available, you'll quickly see, that there's usually top 5 kickers on the board. Offenses change. There's so much we don't know. Mm-hmm. So for now, just grabbing someone from a high-powered offense. Ideally, you're looking for someone that that can't get it in at the goal line. So that's typically your best bet.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree with that. Plus dome helps out too. Or nice weather, All right, so our draft is completed. Do you want to talk about just sum up your team quickly, or you can take as much time as you want? How do you think you did here with your mock draft?
I'm not very happy with it. I got behind on running back, so usually I'm grabbing running backs early. That's always been how I drafted, but I kind of waffled on Genty there. Kenneth Walker, I'm not in love with him, and I'm certainly not in love with Jeremiah Love or Derrick Henry there. And then by the time I come back, 6 running backs are off, or 5 more are off the board. Mm-hmm. And I kind of end up with Kyron Williams, and then I end up grabbing Devonta Smith when probably I should have went running back again, but I just felt like I was reaching so much. I probably would have went Tootin there, which in retrospect is probably what I should have done. But overall, given that, I really only have to have 2 running backs in there at any given time, it's not best ball or anything. Right. I think I'm okay. So now I'm probably just an injury or 2 away from disaster. And I've got too much involved. I got too much exposure to the Eagles, for a weekly league. Stacking is great when, you're trying to get to the top of a DraftKings board, but in week to week, I feel like you're trying to get a high weekly average. You want high median scores from all your players. Unless you're basically, if the Eagles have a bad game, my team is probably sunk any given week. So there's some pretty big downsides for this team, but not everyone is a winner. So
yeah, I like a lot of the picks you made. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you have a lot of exposure to the Eagles, but still, I mean, you're stacking it. So, and I like what you did for a lot of your picks. With my picks, I talked about the one change I would make instead of Joe Burrow, and like, again, this is just me thinking best ball. I think I should have gone Monangai here. I know it would have been 5 running backs in the first 7 picks, but then I didn't draft a running back after that. So that would have been it for me at running back. And then instead of Joe Burrow, the quarterback I liked did not get drafted. Tyler Shuck did not get drafted. I really like Shuck this year. The Saints play in a high-paced offense. They drafted a receiver at number 8 overall. They also drafted a tight end in the 2nd round. I like their offensive line. The tackles are great. And Kellen Moore, I like as a coach. So That's kind of insane that Shuck was undrafted. So yeah, and hindsight's 50-50 as Cam Newton says, but I think I'd rather go Monangai at 705, and then instead of Jane Higgins, I could go Shuck, and obviously Shuck didn't get drafted, so it could be like, okay, I could take Shuck at 1408, but can't really count on that. I also could have gone Stafford here, 1105. He's a good pick too. Again, not stacking, but in redraft instead of best ball, you don't really need to stack. Although I do think it's a good thing to do if you can. I just don't think that you should just like go out of your way to do it. And if I did think that I would get Shuck, then I think I would have gone with Juwan Johnson instead of Goddard. Even though I like Goddard a little bit more, I do like the stacking. And did Juwan Johnson go? I don't think he got drafted either. So, which is kind of crazy because he had a great year last year. So, yeah, I could have stacked that. I think that would have been good. Maybe I could take Boston instead of Goddard there, and that would have been better. And then instead of Higgins, I get a Shuck, and then instead of Stribling, I get Juwan Johnson, and then I could maybe even take Stribling instead of Fields. But I don't know. Troy McClure may have stolen him from me too. So, okay. So I don't. We can. I want to talk about the teams that weren't on auto draft real quick, and then I want to get to the prop stuff. Do you have any hard stop time here? I know we're approaching midnight.
I'm fine. I'll probably grab a drink here in just a second. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So team one, Jorge, you started double running back and then take running back until later. So we'll see what Brooks does. This could be some depth issues at running back, but you can add some players on the waiver wire. Flowers, Waddle, Evans, Tyson. I really don't like Evans. He's old and injury prone. Waddle, not a big fan either. But Bowers looks good there. I really don't like tight end early. So maybe that's what's throwing me off here. I do like Purdy late, so I think that was really good value. And let me talk about these first three teams here. And the auto drafts kind of disappeared, so I can't remember who's on auto draft. But Bijan, Love, same sort of setup here: double running back start and then late. I really don't like Jeremiah Love in that committee in the second round. I think that's too early. Pickens coming off the pinnacle year could decline. Plus, he's an issue in the locker room. Adams is 34. Josh Allen, fifth round looks like good value though. And then Dowdle, I think that he might be the running back there in Pittsburgh because he's familiar with Mike McCarthy's offense. Marvin Harrison, who knows? I do like some of Troy's late round picks though. I think Boston and Lane definitely huge steals. And then Zach Seaman, because I know Trump Best is on auto draft. He went the opposite. He goes double receiver and then running back after that. Williams and Price, and then McLaurin, Washington. I really like his receivers. Running back depth is an issue. He only took 4 running backs I could see. Mason and Tracy. Tracy's not going to do anything. Mason's just mediocre, although he's the starter there. So running back depth is an issue. I think instead of Fannin, I think you go Monangai, and that's a good way to solve that. Don't take 2 quarterbacks. You don't need to in redraft. But yeah, any thoughts on these first 3 teams here?
Zach Seaman, I kind of like his team. Even though he's a little bit short at running back, I mean, it's just going to beat you up at receiver, I think. I really like Parker Washington and Terry McLaurin. But yeah, he's an injury away from not having any running backs, basically. I mean, you're going to have to start starting Jordan Mason if one of those guys get hurt. And the problem with Price is, Charbonnet will be coming back, right, when it comes to playoffs. So you're going to be really hurting, I think.
Yeah. Okay. The middle teams that Baker was on auto draft. So I'll do Butters and Kid No Name. So between our picks. So he also goes double receiver. Jackson with the Jibba, Chris Olave. He took McBride. I really don't like McBride this year. First of all, tight end too early. I don't like tight ends early, but McBride he's not going to catch the same number of touchdowns he had last year if Carson Beck comes in. I know he looked good in the preseason game, but that was against vanilla defense with no game planning. Like they're going to throw the kitchen sink at him, and I think he could struggle. So I think those touchdowns go away. I really don't like Travis Etienne. I think he busts this year. Hubbard 5th round, man. I don't know. It could be Jonathan Brooks. and then Gainwell. So like I think that's the issue with going McBride. There is like you kind of mess up your running backs, whereas like you could have had an Irving or a Jacobs or a Kyron Williams to kind of have like a good lead back there, and then if ETN's your RB2, kind of feel a little bit better about that than your RB1. Gainwell, he's going to catch passes, but that's it. And Charbonnet, you're going to wait a long time. I don't like Charbonnet this early because like he's going to be out for the first 9-10 weeks. Like you're just going to sit on your roster. Like, I feel like some the people who draft Charbonnet are just going to cut him after like week 4 because they're going to need the roster space once the buys come around.
And who knows if he's going to be the same player right when he returns. So
that's true too. And then double tight end. I don't like double tight end in redraft. Tesla's a solid pick here late. And then double quarterback. You don't need to go double quarterback and redraft. If this is your best ball, that's great. But you don't need double quarterback in regular draft. And the kid no name, I like the quad start at running, or the quad running back start. Jonathan Taylor, Walker, Jacobs, Judkins, all solid. His running backs look great. So let's see how his receivers look. And he also took an on guide. Garrett Wilson, Rome Odunze, Jordan Addison, Jacoby Myers, and Trey Tucker, Rashid Shaheed, and that looks pretty solid. Like, I'm not a big Shaheed fan this year. I mean, maybe he goes off. We'll see. But I think they want him more on special teams, and I think Torrey Horton's the guy there. But still, I mean, look, I could be wrong about that. I like Tucker's upside for sure. He took Bigsby as well. I don't know if you need a 6th running back with the start you had. Like, it feels like another receiver would have been better here. But I'm kind of like picking this here because I really like the rest of the team. So what do you think about these two middle teams? Anything stand out to
you? I'm looking at. I mean, they have all the running backs I like. Which the kid no name. He sniped me twice or maybe 3 times in this draft. Because I was going to grab Manungai, I was going to grab Jacobs before. So what do you think of Jacobs, though? I mean, I've been waffling on him so much this year because, I think the Packers are going to lose more games, so he's going to catch more balls. But if you're looking at his splits, he scores way less in wins, or scores way more in wins. So if they're going to be losing games, it's going to bring his touchdown total way down. But then I was thinking, well, okay, maybe they're just going to have to score all the time because their defense is going to be terrible. So I don't know. That's kind of the main concern is, if you're looking at his win-loss splits, I guess that's the main thing. I think you guys were saying what it was last Thursday with Mike Lachine, saying, hey, he's probably not going to get suspended until next year, which is kind of what I was already on board with. So I have him in a keeper league that I need to make a decision about here. And I don't know, probably the next 4 days, I think, is when my first keeper date is. So I think I'm going to hold on to him at pick 24. So it's a keeper league, so, the first 40 picks are already going to be gone. But I don't know. I just waffle on him quite a bit. So Bucky Irving, I'm not sure. Tootin I've liked, but it just seems like, I guess with everybody else gone, who else are you going to grab there? And Stevenson, I really like. You're getting. I mean, what in the other games? I think it was close to an RB1. When he was away from the fumbleitis. So I mean, he put up, I think, like some 30-point games, and he's going to get the goal line work. And I feel like people are overestimating his demise this year. So
yeah, that's for sure. With Jacobs, it's a tough valuation because first of all, he could be suspended this year. Like Mike Lachine made the argument that he thought he's going to be suspended next year, and I after listening to it, I think that he's probably right. But you never know what Goodell's going to do. Goodell could just wake up and decide to suspend this guy. So it's really anyone's guess what's going to happen. And you're right. Like the defense is going to be a lot worse. No Rashawn Gary, and Parsons today said that best case scenario, he's going to be back week 6. Like that. Those are his words.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. So that's kind of scary for the Packers' outlook this year. If their defense sucks, they're going to have a lot of scoring. I actually like the receivers for that reason because they're going to have to throw a lot more than usual in the fourth quarter. But Jacobs is like, I mean, look, he can get dump offs and stuff, which is fine. But his rushing totals will go down, and I mean, and this is PPR, so I guess that's not the worst thing. But in standard, I guess I would like him a little bit less. PPR is probably like neutral. I think you could take a shot on him just based on the way the running backs went. I think you could take a shot on him in the 4th round, 3rd round. Maybe a little early, but like it's not that early. It's okay. If he's not suspended, that's definitely going to work out for Kid No Name. If he is suspended, then that's going to be a regret, and that's just what you don't know right now. And it's no one knows except for Goodell. So. All right. Anyway, I think we only had one team after you that wasn't on auto draft at the end. Frizzle and Rudy obviously started regular drafting, but they dropped off. So Blazarian at team 10. He went 4 running backs in the first 5 picks here. Hampton, Genty, Montgomery, Jalen Warren. Not a big Warren fan like Kenny would be angry again hearing that. And Kenny's the president of the Jalen Warren fan club. So if you like Warren enough, you could definitely take him at 5'10". But yeah, he did the same thing I did. He took 4 running backs not in the first 6, in the first 5 rounds. And then he just went heavy on receiver after that. So he went Higgins, DJ Moore, like that. Alec Pierce, that's I think too early with his ankle injury. It reminds me of Chris Godwin last year. I would wait on him. Mekhi Lemon, he could be out of the league by October, just based on what his habits. He's terrifying. I've done 105 drafts in best ball. I've not drafted a single time. Xavier Worthy, Debo Samuel. I like Samuel Worthy. You can. Mike Lachine made a good case for him on Thursday. I'm not sure. McMillan's banged up too, so try to avoid the injured receivers. Herbert's a solid pick in the 9th round. He's going 7th round best ball, so kind of like Joe Burrow. I got him 2 rounds later than it usually goes. Laporta, quality tight end pick here in the 8th round. So except for a few receiver picks, I liked what he did for the most part. So last team we'll review. What do you think about Blazarian's draft?
He's got a great team, I think. I'm not sure about Jalen Warren. I guess I'm on the hater club. I mean, I think Rico Dowdle will probably get more work there or somehow eat into the role. David Montgomery, I think he's going to end up splitting carries with Woody Marks, but he's probably going to get all the goal line work. I really like Hampton and Genty. T. Higgins, I think, is going to have a great year. And DJ Moore, I'm wondering why he's going so late. I know there were reports of him, not running routes at the right time or things like that. But I don't know. I'm really high on DJ Moore this year. I think he's going to have a great year with the Bills.
Yeah, I do too. There's a lot of negativity on him on fantasy Twitter for some reason. People just don't like the pick. The Bills gave up a 2nd for Moore. People hated it. And a week later, the Broncos gave up a 1st for Jalen Waddle and be like, oh, that's a great pick. That's a great trade. It's like, what? I'd rather have Moore than Waddle. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, he's a fantastic receiver. And there's just no room for him on the Bears, I guess. And it is possible to be in sync with one guy and not another. So he's, I don't know. He's going to have a great year.
Yeah, DJ Moore said before the season started that he was going to not do as much that year, and usually NFL players are usually overly optimistic on their chances, especially when it comes to injuries. But when production, they're oh, I'm going to lead the league in rushing. That's my goal. You always hear that, or receiving. And he said the opposite. He's I'm not going to do as much this year. And so he already felt disgruntled. And so I was I'm not drafting this guy at all last year. But now he's going. Now he's going later than he was last year, and he has a better quarterback throwing to him. And he's the number one, by far. There's no Shakir is a solid slot receiver, but there's no one else at receiver in that offense, and he's going later. What is happening here? Yeah.
So I'm really high on him. So, I guess those teams they pretty good running backs that they loaded up on. So I like Laporta too. I think the Lions are going to have a great year. So.
Yeah. I hope so. I have some good features on him. Real quick, before we get to your props, a couple questions here. I have Drew S. First 3 weeks of the season, do I start Shuck or Goff? I feel like Shuck's matchups are going to be kind of tough. The Saints start at Lions, which the Lions are going to be missing the top 2 safeties, and I think there could be a lot of garbage time stats for Shuck in that game. I like that. Then at Ravens is pretty tough, and the Lions play the Bills, who are more susceptible to the run. So I think again there could be garbage time in this Ravens game, and then week 3 they play the Raiders, who don't have a good defense. So I definitely would go Shuck there. I think Shuck's gonna be really good this year. And then he says, I like the interaction today with Fantasy Receipts on Twitter. Fantasy Receipts is such a scumbag. He's like the biggest scumbag in the world. And it kind of goes to show, like, I'd be all fine with like what he does if if he like points out. His whole shtick is like to point out like people said wrong, right? It's like, gotcha, you said something wrong. Like, he doesn't give out any opinions on his own. Like, it'd be cool if he did that, and on top of that, he's kind of like a watchdog for the fantasy community, which everyone should be held accountable. I have no issues with that. Like, he has no opinions of his own, and he's like, oh, look what this idiot said. It's like, oh well, maybe you would have said the same thing or even worse. And then like, and like he's like, when I had an interaction with him, he's like, you point out like four posts I made. He's like, is this you? I'm like, yeah. Like, so like, yes, it's me. Yeah. You saw, you found old tweets. You wasted time and found old tweets of mine. Congratulations. All right. I really wanted to get to this prop stuff that you sent me. It was such a big Excel file. I was like really impressed. And I actually, what I did was I put it into ChatGPT, and I'm like, can you, like, what do you think of this analysis? And like ChatGPT is like, this is very impressive. So, tell me and me again and the rest of the world what you found with these props and how we can take advantage of them.
So I guess really how it started, basically with realizing, they were putting traps out there, putting these sucker bets out there, and I was like, oh, maybe, if I know they're putting out a sucker bet, I can use that to my advantage and, just change it a little bit, and, then you can find a winner. So that was the main thing. And
well, real quick, can you explain like or give examples of these sucker bets?
So let's see. Do you have the file? Like, you can open it up if you want, or I can present or something like that.
Yes. Hold on. Let me. I will. Give me a second here. It's scanning for some reason, even though I had it open before. Hold on. Well, while it waits, do you want to just keep going? I'll try to get it open here.
Yeah. So basically, they'd be posting stuff on. I'd look at it and go, hey, this seems pretty reasonable. And it's boosted, so it's probably plus EV. You're thinking that, and then some crazy crap happens that you really didn't account for, or something like that would happen, and the bet would lose. So you think you're betting into something that's plus EV, but it's not. And well, they're really good handicappers, so that's who you're competing with. At least that's the mindset I went into it. Was okay. Now, if they're trying to do these things to make money, I should be able to leverage it. So I started keeping track of them, and I would just, it was, now I have tons of them, but at the time it was just, I started out, once you get a month's worth of data, and then you have something that's, actionable. So,
okay. Yeah, I have your Excel open. So you want to tell me where to go?
Is this the latest one I sent you? I sent you one, I think, right before the show.
Oh.
So
okay.
there was a couple things I wanted to show you in that new one. But yeah, those are baseball bets recorded. So I started with, this is actually further down the road, but that's one of the spots I leverage. This is.
Hold on, I'll open up the new one here.
Okay.
As soon as it wants to. I don't know why it's going a little slow here.
Yeah, it's pretty huge, so
yeah.
I have a pretty powerful computer, and it bogs it down too. So this is one that's published by Caesars, and I guess the other thing that kind of gives me a unique, angle on sports is I use decimal odds a lot because it's way easier to calculate implied probabilities with in Excel. Okay. Yeah, so let's go to the MISC photos one. That's a page I added. There's a couple interesting photos I added in here. So this one, I don't know if you remember this fight. This was from, I think, 2 years ago or something.
Uh-huh.
And he was a minus what? He was a minus 650 favorite and lost to Strickland,
Okay.
and they had pushed this one, and I was, you know, that's one of the ones where I was like, man, this is crazy. They're doing this sort of thing, which, if you get a situation like this where you ever get that again, which they don't really do too often, you just free roll the underdog is really the best way to use it. So you can bet into their promotion, go to a different sports book, and place the same amount on the underdog. Um, is typically how I would approach it.
Okay.
So really the Lions boost is really what kicked it off. So I guess now if you go back to that calendar page, these are just some other funny photos I had.
Oh,
That one's just Bijan 425, and then the one below it. If you look at the 425, I think it's blocked by the chat, but
hold on.
it's the same prop for like plus 200 less or something. It was just silly.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
it's the exact same thing, and I was like, "What the hell?" Like, so
okay.
anyway, so it's something to keep an eye out for because they do occasionally screw these up, and especially if you check the alternate lines versus the over under lines, for some reason they're scaled differently. So it's worth checking those when you're trying to ladder something.
Mm-hmm.
And then this last one is just from, I mean, these guys. Yeah. Okay. So that's what we want to look at. There's that photo. It just says test because they're writing these things in by hand a lot of the time. Anyway, I just like capturing some of those funny things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is some tracking on the Lions boost from September 2024. I was just putting it into a calendar at this point, which was a big mistake, I realized. So I had been doing some baseball things on in the Excel spreadsheet, I think, at this point. But I really didn't understand how to leverage a lot of the data at that point. So I didn't go into this knowing a ton about Excel, and I kind of learned a lot along the way. And same with data analysis, and that's where I figured out I could use pivot tables, and then it kind of illuminates a lot of what the data is saying. But so if you didn't think the Lions boost was already bad enough, like all the gray ones are the ones that hit. All the red ones are all the losers. So
can you explain what Lions boost is though?
So the Lions boost it's the main Bet MGM promotion that you see on their front page that says, "Oh, get Jared Goff and the Lions to win, or Jared Goff 200 passing yards and the Lions to win, boosted to plus 140 or something like that." They'll throw some things together and boost it and sell it to you. So it's usually an SQP or some other boosted thing. Yeah. And usually on the surface, it seems like a good bet, and often it's with a decent matchup or something, and then it finds a way to lose from really. It could be any number of things. Maybe Jared Goff doesn't pass for 200 yards because Jahmyr Gibbs just absolutely goes off or something. It would be something that you wouldn't think about. So they're really out there trapping you, and I guess I have the data to prove it. Now, let's see.
And again, the gray ones are the ones that won, right? Yeah. So
a
lot more red. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. I always say that, like, if you're going to be limited, or you think you're going to be limited by these sports books, definitely bet the parlay, and they're like, "Oh, this guy's a sucker." They'll throw off the feed there, that like they'll think that like you're not a sharp better because you bet these SGPs that they offer. But yeah, they definitely look like sucker bets to me, and so yeah, go on.
I realized the Lions boost wasn't the best way to leverage it. They put out these other parlays that are a lot more lucrative. So BetMGM actually had another set of promotions that I targeted. I think you'd actually have to go way over in the file. I'm going to open up my file so I can see a little better.
Okay.
And you're going to go. Actually, let's just go over to the left and open up. Where is it? Hold on a second. I'm trying to find. Oh man, this is way over to the right. Remember, I'm thinking of that page. It's just sorted. So let's go back to that MLB data page.
Okay.
I'm
The
trying to look
fun
at this.
MLB. This one.
This is the pivot table. We're not ready to talk about that yet. We'll get to that.
Oh, MLB that. Okay. Okay. Got it.
Okay, so now, yeah, if you go way up there towards the top, there should be more books recorded. So you'll see a few DraftKings ones and
Yeah.
MGM
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
So I guess what was nice about they were the most predictable when they actually put these out. So that's probably far enough because there's a bunch of them there.
Okay. Okay.
Um, so basically, what I did was I started recording these. Basically, anytime they would put them out, I'd just go in, drop them in, record the odds, and I always use decimal. And the main reason is it's really easy to convert.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, what you do is you can just look at some of these teams, and the most common pattern for MGM was was win, lose, win, and then lose, win, win, and that was very typical on weekends, and you could leverage that, by betting against those teams. And um, unfortunately, they stopped doing their promotion, probably about 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half, which is unfortunate because they were the easiest one to read out of any of them. So you'd enter these in, look at the odds, and then go, oh, okay, well, based on what they're trying to get me to take, I can just fade one of these teams and get plus money and get an edge. Now, that doesn't mean I had to throw handicapping out of the window. Like you have to look at it and go, okay, well, why are the books trying to get me to swallow this poison pill? That sort of thing.
Right.
But now, once you get a lot of the data, you can see like, oh man, they're consistently, stuffing a poison leg in this particular spot on this particular day,
Yeah.
and then start leveraging that. So now, when you look at this,
I was gonna say, how do you identify what the poison leg is? And do you want to explain that to people listening? Like what how would you qualify that, like a poison leg in a parlay?
I mean, so for example, we had one. Let's go to the bottom. We had one the other day that was pretty obvious from Saturday, I thought. Let's see. So that would be what, 8-8. Yeah. So circle those. Yeah. Select those teams on 8-8. So like I don't know if you're following baseball, you're looking at Phillies and Blue Jays. I mean, I think the Cubs did they smash them or did they win that day? To me, it looks like all those teams have pretty good chance to win, except that I'm a Red Sox fan, so I was watching the game, and the White Sox, they played a really long game with the Red Sox the game before. They basically had no bullpen left, so to me, it was pretty big difference for the White Sox. So we ended up betting the Guardians there on Saturday, and very successfully. So I think I had mentioned on my Twitter, I thought the Orioles were going to win today. It looks like things got out of sort, but I was wrong about that one. So now looking at the data here, though, I guess it's tough to tell how you'd figure that out, just by looking at it. So that's where the pivot table comes in. So if we go down to the MLB tab now.
Okay.
Now, if we go down, let's see, it should say Saturday. I'm looking for the Saturday one. That's Thursday. Keep going. Friday.
Is it this?
Yeah. So now we're looking. So that's just our total. So this is basically, I recorded all these. Yeah, we're getting. Oh, it's still a small sample size, but you can tell that they're, just by looking at the color graphs where things are going on. And now you could just say that that's just a trend, but it's even in a smaller sample size, you get some levelness. And really, it's mostly leg 3. I think that these guys, put their traps in, but that's the advantage of having so much data is I can see when they're doing that and where they move these things to, because these traps, um, I guess they're not your friend, or they're trying to sucker you in any way that they can. And some of them, they're not always trying to trap you necessarily. They're trying to get you to place bad bets, in particular with SGPs. But we'll talk about SGP pricing and how to leverage that later. So I guess if you scroll down, keep scrolling a little bit more. A little bit up, sorry. Right there. So that's where the White Sox are. So you can see, I guess, on my tab there, I can see, there's pretty good money line advantage. And if we go to sell, what is it? P448.
Okay. Right here.
Yeah. That's how much money you would be making if you were betting one unit against this team all time from whatever was in the data.
Okay.
So basically, what I did with the pivot table is there's other rows in my table that calculate all your potential winnings from, if you were betting on or against every team, and I just calculated every single combination of that, and then calculated all the winnings, and then I added those gradients on there to give me an edge. Now, it doesn't mean you can't not handicap anything at all, because you have to be able to figure out what their, what their understanding is, which baseball, a lot of the time, it's people not properly assessing bullpens.
Well, let me ask you this. Like you said, you bet the Guardians, and I guess you identified the White Sox as the poison pill. Like what made you what alerted you that they were the poison pill out of those four teams?
Well, we're looking at Brewers Twins, and I'm actually going through the games and thinking, okay, we actually I did bet the Royals as well, I think, and they ended up winning as well.
Mm-hmm.
In the under, and you get a bunch of different edges, and you can bet all of them. So I guess to answer your question, it's more of, okay, the White Sox had the clear problem out of any of those teams in there, because it's Phillies versus Blue Jays. I don't really remember who was pitching, but each of those teams, you're looking at Phillies over the Blue Jays and Cubs over Royals. The Royals are just not very good this year, and then Brewers over Twins. All of them had, I thought there were no glaring flaws with them, which to me, I guess White Sox isn't really a glaring flaw. You'd have to be paying attention to assess the bullpen. So okay. I guess it's using the data and then kind of half looking at it. And I guess the other thing is I can look at a DraftKings promotion too. For example, the second to last leg in their promotions on Fridays, it loses so often. It's pretty wild that, the top two teams will win and often cover. And then, the second to last team will always lose. And I was thinking about it from a menu design standpoint, and it's like, when you read a big list of items, even on a parlay or something, you actually really only scan. And the items that you scan on menus are first, second, and last. So
yeah.
They're putting those things in, and I guess it's not quite obvious, because they're not going to put somebody in there that has a really bad pitcher, usually like a starting pitcher. It's always somebody with, or could be a starting pitcher. It's like a good pitcher that is having control issues, like he's going to walk a bunch of guys, or their bullpen's really bad, or what's another good one? I guess those are kind of the main two ones that I'm thinking of, or just maybe wild weather or something like that, and the total goes way under, that sort of thing. But it's a little bit strange that they have a unique pattern, that each of these different books, they all kind of have their own flavor. But I guess it's like most people leveraging this, it's like you could look at it and just say, hey, if you're betting on one of the teams that's in the middle legs of a parlay that's on the very front page, I would be a little concerned.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy that they sneak that bad one in there, like the penultimate leg in a parlay. And like I said, if you want to go under the radar from their algorithm, then you could just bet like $5 on those and just be fine.
Right. So it's not just like sometimes they're just doing bad. Sometimes these teams are getting absolutely destroyed. So if we go over to the data pivot table, it's called Data PT. It's on the bottom left there at the tab.
Okay.
So what we're going to look at is columns S and T.
Okay.
And then we're going to go down to row 12. Row 12. So row 12 on row S and T. So you see that 100.3. That's how much. That's how much you would have won. It's 100 units if you had been betting against these home teams, these baseball teams. If you had been betting the underdog to cover a -3.5 run line. So these teams aren't just getting upset; they're getting destroyed by massive underdogs. So they know to some extent that some of these teams are just going to get destroyed, which is just obscene. If you're looking at specifically, can you hold on? You're moving it around. In particular, yeah, S12. That's the main cell that you want to look at there.
S12. Yeah. The 100.83.
Yeah. So these teams, some of them aren't just losing. They're getting really destroyed. And we could pull up some of the data, and I'd probably have to guide you on turning a couple filters on. But I have every single one of them logged, so you could go back and look at them. And usually it's like, a pitcher will get in a walk trouble, walk a couple guys, and give up several hits in a row, and then suddenly they're down. Not only do they lose, but they often lose very early and often. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's another thing to watch out for is they'll put a leg out where if you select an SGP that they've made, and you see one leg that starts way before all the others, there's a fairly high probability that leg is going to lose because they want to get you to chase. And they want to take the money right away without having a cash out opportunity.
Yeah.
So that's another trap that they use. Most of the books, especially MGM, now they're just switching to what I would call as more of bad bet encouragement, where they're just putting it highly correlated SGPs that they've just cooked the odds on so much that they're going to win on long term. So they don't really need to trap you on them as much. It's just a terrible bet.
Right. So so your total here, you make 350 units on this. That's yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess that's not how much I've won. I'm saying those are how much you could have won if you had bet every single one of them. I couldn't take action on all of them because I had to first find the trend,
Right.
So yeah, it's a huge advantage when you're trying to figure out saying, hey, who's an underdog that I could bet, which I love betting plus money all the time. So I think on average, I was betting about plus 140 last year for a lot of my props. Maybe not money lines, sides and totals. You don't typically get that, but for props, usually plus 140 is about what I averaged.
Okay. And what are these again? Sum of opponent minus 2.5. So you take the
take the opponent, yeah. So there's a Caesars promotion out there, and that's what this one in particular is for.
Okay.
So it's pretty crazy. They're stuffing a poison leg in there in the third leg, especially when it's a home team. The home team performs so much worse than if it's away. So, and I guess if you're looking, and it's pretty crazy because if you look at this, the sum of all those different teams on the left, if you had been betting on every team that appeared in a promotion, you'd be down 100 units. Mm-hmm. And if you had just blindly bet against them, you'd also be down about 100 units. So it's pretty crazy how they balance things out.
Yeah.
So there's somebody else on the other side of the keyboard, and I know they type these in by hand because I've seen them make typos in them. It's not like they're selecting a bunch of buttons and making these. They're handcrafting all the SGPs that you see.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty insane.
I guess the most actionable one that you could give out to or that I can give out to users is typically when they have like a they'll have a 2-leg like on DraftKings or FanDuel.
Mm-hmm.
The usually it's the first leg that'll miss, and the second one will hit more often than not. So,
Okay.
And that's pretty hard and fast rule. So, it's pretty crazy. I think most books are switching more to SGP, like a bad bet encouragement than traps, but you still see them out there. So until they're gone, I'm going to keep leveraging them like I am. So.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, we're talking about baseball here. What about football? I mean, football's coming up. You know, preseason's on Thursday, and then the regular season's gonna be here in a month. So, like, how do people take advantage of this in the NFL?
So the NFL, I guess I kind of use baseball as a bit of a hallmark for how the data is going to work. So, you know, I'll go around and look in these promotions and find, you know, hey, where's a big favorite where they're trying to sneak it in on you. You know, so usually those first couple legs, yeah, the first and last leg, you know, they're kind of making a compliment sandwich so that you swallow the poison pill.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking for something for an underdog, and you know you see a book pushing them, and typically if they're sandwiched in the middle, it typically would be a good bet. So I'm not sure how many of the NFL ones. The NFL ones I found it actually a little bit less useful, just because there's a lot less data points, and I don't think I had quite as nice of a pivot table, if any at all. So I think I have an NFL tab, and I think that is this goes from last season. And as you can see, this one's pretty rudimentary. The second time opposite of what happened the first time, so 6-0. So basically, you know, if you were able to put it in there once and you lost, or then you'd win, and vice versa. So I guess the other thing was that teams that were underdogs that appeared at the end of these promotions also did pretty well.
Okay.
So that's probably somewhat actionable as well.
Interesting.
I think the most actionable, I guess the other most actionable one would be, hey, if you see these guys and there's one, you know, one of these teams is a 1 p.m. and the others are, you know, a 4 p.m. and a night game, it's like the first team is almost always going to lose.
Yeah.
I guess there's just not as much data here on the football one, which I'll probably have to go back and update this, and I'm going to end up in your Discord at some point. I was trying to sign up for that earlier, and I don't know, I had some issue where the page wouldn't load, so I got to go back and figure that out again. But I plan on
they're still working on it today. I know it'll be up in the coming days. So yeah, sorry about that for to you and anyone else who tried that.
No, it's all good. Yeah, so I'll be in the Discord in there, so
Nice.
we'll be poking around at these things in there as well. So I am pretty active on Discord. I have my own little Discord where a couple guys help me track all these things too. So because just doing one of them is already at like I'm maxing out on my bandwidth. So I already have a full-time job already. So
yeah.
I guess without tracking anything, I mean, you can set it up yourself too. So if there is another user out there, I mean, somebody can do it themselves and track another specific promotion. So I guess we can talk about that later on Discord. If anybody wants to, just join Walt's Discord and we'll get you set up. I have no problem sharing a bunch of my data. So.
Drew, yeah, we're starting the Discord. We had one before. It's kind of like messy, didn't like wasn't really implemented well, but we're going to start a Discord just for premium users only on the site. and we're kind of expanding what we're going to have for premium users. So like it's, and I'll explain why. I'm going to explain why on the site. Just it's something we have to do, but we're going to offer a lot more on top of it. So yeah, so it's not there yet, but it will be in the coming weeks. So I'll definitely have an announcement on it. Okay, so anything else here you wanted to keep going to discuss?
No, I think that's it for promotions. You know,
Okay.
it's really tough to give out actionable advice without giving away a ton of data or people actually having the data themselves, which
Right.
I'll be in the Discord later and we'll be able to pick apart a bunch of these. But I guess the main thing is I think most people already knew. Don't trust them, and if you see a favorite that's stuffed in there, don't hesitate to fade them. Because more often than not, you're going to end up on the right side of it. So I guess the next one, I did want to talk about the SGP calculations because that's actually where I ended up making most of my money last year.
Okay.
Where's I think that's the other spreadsheet I sent you in that email chain.
Let me see. Oh, here we go. Let me get that one up. Let me get out of here.
Well, I have to pull up the data from the NFL the previous couple of years because the books do end up giving money away eventually. So, you know, you could, once you get close to the mid-season mark, you can actually start martingaling their parlays to get a win. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, they're going to give money away to the users at some point. A sucker bet can only lose for so long before they have to help people out. So let's go over to the SGP pricing scenarios. I guess there's all that, but I don't want to just sit there and read it. So the main thing where books are really, they're correlated SGPs are how they make most of their money, and they absolutely destroy odds on SGPs. And you're making really bad bets. I mean, sure, they happen at the same time, but the rate at which you're getting paid is just so bad that long run you're going to lose, 30, 40%. Mm-hmm. So the main things that I found are especially tied to unders and people scoring touchdowns in the NFL. So I put a bunch of reverse correlation pricing here and added the payout. And this is before you even apply any boosts to anything. I didn't want to rely on the boost getting really good pricing. You're just getting overpaid because these things, they're paying you out as if they're not correlated, and sometimes they're correlated, or sometimes there's no correlation at all. And in particular with unders, I think with teams that have very good defenses, they typically can smother their opponent, and then if you're betting someone to score a touchdown on the favorite side of it, that's really not uncorrelated to the over or the under, mm-hmm. Because the favorite, they'll probably score, 27 points and they'll win 27-10 or something like that, or 27-14, and you'll still hit your under.
Yeah.
But you get paid as if it's reversely correlated. So, if you're looking at this first one right here, like up in the top left corner, you're getting 20% overpay for betting a touchdown and an under in the same game.
Yeah.
And if you add another one to that, or the opposite team, then you get these double reverse correlations, is what I call them. So, or another good one is 2 touchdowns, or somebody scoring 2, because you'll get a starting running back, they'll score 2 touchdowns just because they have a huge lead. And the final score will be like 30-10, and you'll sail under an under of 44 up to 48.5. So, and that's really the key, is now once you start putting the boosts on top of these, which usually they'll give you some kind of SGP boost because they're trying to get you to bet these things. And even if you're limited on them, it's still the best way to make money off of those SGPs. So now there's a couple other scenarios that they don't have out yet. For example, like last year, you would get reverse correlation for betting opposing quarterbacks over on yardage and a team spread.
Mhm.
But those I would say are positively correlated, but you'd get reverse correlation pricing on them. So I think I have my results for parlays and SGPs from last fall on that third tab. So this is just what I bet on parlays last year and SGPs.
Okay.
So I had a fantastic year. I actually ended up losing more on singles towards the end of the year than I did with SGPs. Um, and yeah, it's just leveraging these, all these small non-correlated plays, and it works really well for NHL too. Betting an under and somebody to score a goal is you
Mhm.
also get a ton of reverse correlation. So if you're going to be betting these any kind of SGPs, this is the way to do it.
Okay. So, how can you give an example? Like, you did. I guess you did talk about that. So, like, what would you do for for
Let's go up to the top left, and we'll just look at that one. So,
yeah,
Patriots and Seahawks, they both have pretty good defenses. They're going to be pumped up out of the gate. The under is probably the better bet, I would
yeah,
say.
right.
Now, I put the odds there in the B column, but those are in decimal, and that's how I calculate. I guess that's what gave me the advantage in looking at how to calculate all these, because you can just do it with a phone calculator once you're using decimal odds. So
Mhm.
you're just multiplying 1.9 times the 2.2, which is just plus 120, and then you're getting that plus 318.
Okay.
And then I'm looking at the actual payout. That's what was offered to me on DraftKings.
Oh wow.
Um,
Okay.
so you can go to DraftKings right now and enter that exact one, and you should get similar pricing because I didn't do this too long ago. Um, so I guess if you're going to make SGPs, switch into decimal odds, and that way you can calculate if you're getting fair pricing. And maybe that's kind of the first thing that we would need to talk about is how do you calculate what fair pricing should be? Because there's best available for SGP, but that doesn't always mean you're getting a fair price.
Mhm. Um. Yeah. So I was going to do that. I can't find the I can't find week one here. Yeah, I just wanted to see if we got the same number. I see all preseason. I don't see I'm in NFL preseason.
They buried it. It's a little bit annoying.
Yeah.
Um,
Um. Yeah. Everywhere I look, it's the preseason. Oh, week one games. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna go to it. I'm gonna go under, and I'm going to parlay price anytime touchdown scorer, and it's giving me well, I guess this line moved. I'm seeing price at plus 105, so I guess that's what changed.
okay.
I'm seeing a price of plus 105, and it's giving me a payout plus 355.
That's 355. Okay, so you should just be able to. Well, I could have you change those numbers. So is the total still at the same spot
Um,
for that game?
it's
Is
under
it still
44 and a half minus
minus
110. Yeah, under 44 and a half minus.
Okay, so change the Javarian price number to 2.05.
Yep. And that says, yeah. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. It just looked like it froze up there for a second. So
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, change the odds to 3.895.
okay, and our actual payout will need to change. So what did you say it came out to again?
3.895.
3.895. Okay, and our actual payout that they're offering us is what plus
Oh, plus 355.
355. So you have to put in the actual payout. You'll have to put 4.55.
Okay. Okay.
I don't. None of those things are changing.
Sorry, what?
None of the things in Excel are changing for me, but that's okay.
lost the Excel screen. Did you change that?
Sorry, what?
I can't see the Excel screen at all.
Okay. I don't know what happened there. Hold on. I thought, I don't know why it disappeared. Okay, you should see it now there.
Okay, so you're still getting a 16% edge there, which is still pretty good. So now typically that's not that useful because you're only getting 2 legs and you're not getting that great of a payout.
Mhm.
So now once you start combining 2, your odds of hitting it go down quite a bit, but the percent overpay goes way up.
Yeah. And by the way, I took out under, I put over, it dropped it to plus 234. That's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy. Like, they're not gonna be touchdowns in this game. Like, come on.
There are some books like the positive correlation is so bad, like it'll only increase your bet by 20 cents if you're parlaying an over with a touchdown or something like that. It's like they're not like 80% correlated. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So and I guess there's all these different situations now in football, that happen. Hey, you're playing from behind, you got to catch up, and they'll give you good pricing on it. So if you just think about how you're gonna build your SGP based on a certain type of game scenario, and then you leverage some kind of reverse correlation, and then on top of that you apply some kind of SGP boost that they're giving you, even if it's something small like 30%. You can really make a lot of money long term on these, and you can fly under the radar because they're thinking you're making bad bets here.
Oh yeah, I was about to say, like, yeah, they're saying, oh, this guy's betting parlays, he's an idiot. But yeah, I mean, if you're getting good edges here, for sure. I like the what is the under and 2 touchdowns. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. So under and 2 touchdowns. So we get Brown and Jadarian Price. Obviously, the numbers have changed. So getting 16-1 on that. But if you flip under to over, it goes to plus 625.
Yeah, that's pretty awful.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you were looking at my SGP results, I mean, I made a lot of these, and a lot of them aren't going to hit. It's just when you get your payouts, they're going to be very big.
16-1. Yeah, I mean, you can
this is before
you put any boost on it at all either. So you can sometimes they'll have ones on FanDuel up to 50%. Granted, they're probably only like $5 or $10 for you, but those things really add up over time. So there's more scenarios that I have to go through, but I can't do until week 1 props come out. But I guess this is really when you're doing SGPs, you got to go into decimal mode, and that way you can calculate fair odds, because all you have to do is multiply your decimal odds to get what should be fair pricing. So that's how you calculate quickly fair pricing for SGPs, is just switch to decimal, multiply everything.
I just real quickly, I went to baseball, and I just randomly chose Cubs Nationals, and I did I clicked Michael Busch to hit a home run. He's the favorite to hit a home run, plus 308, and then I did under 9, and it gave me 9-1, and then it changed from under 9 to over 9 and went to plus 480.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
So I mean, you're getting very good. You're getting a lot of overpay, and unders, they're not always related. Like, just because you can hit a home run, off your starter, the bullpen could be fine, or maybe everybody else in the lineup is striking out a lot. Like, they're paying you as if they're reversely correlated, but it's not true, and that's really how you leverage it.
Oh yeah, tonight, Rangers Angels right now, they're 1-1 in the 10th, and Trout hit a home run. Like you're gonna have these sort of things. Brewers, Padres was 3-2 Padres. You had Yelich hit a home run. You had 3 home runs in this game. You had Yelich, France, and Merrill all hit home runs. It's that's pretty insane.
Because you can start combining. You could do 2 sets of SGPs and just get really stupid odds. It's just it's really hard to hit 2 home runs as it is. So if you're just doing one home run, yeah, I kind of like that. But getting two, and then getting two unders is pretty difficult.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. You're doing here the 2 touchdowns here. What's this? I think this is the same thing. It's the same thing.
You just copy and pasted.
Okay.
I think I meant to do somebody to score 2 touchdowns or something like that.
Okay.
What else is there? It's on the far right. If on column J, there's one more scenario, I think.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so here we have Patriots under 440.5. Yeah, Barner and Shaheed. That's 110% overpay.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
those things, it gets more crazy with longer odds and then with 2 guys on the same team. So
Yeah.
if you go into the sports book and you just play around with these things, you'll find all sorts of different things. So these are just some of the scenarios that I looked at that I'm, going to be leveraging this year. So for whatever reason, I've used Pickett has a really nice SGP shopping. So I've been using that to shop SGPs, and then putting boost on top of that. And DK is just off the charts for these reverse correlation. So, and it's one of those things, especially for primetime games. These things you usually get a boost for, and I'm all about betting unders in primetime. So,
I'm just putting this in. So Barner and Shaheed. Just gonna see what happens. So, all right. So under 44.5, and then Shaheed and Barner to score touchdowns, 55-1.
that's like a little bit more now. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, but what if you go over? That 55-1 turns into 19-1.
Yeah.
So that's pretty crazy. And then you had I saw you had and this is something I experimented with too. The winning team and the touchdown from the other team. So you get some overpay there too, right? 10.5%.
Surprisingly, it's a lot less. You're much better chasing after a total than doing reverse correlation with teams, but there is some there, so it's not nothing.
Okay. So game total under and touchdown score. Okay, so you're doing 2 of these. Okay. Favorite money line and touchdown score example 2. Yeah, 19%. We had Rams -3 and Evans touchdown 16% overpay. Okay.
Yeah, you can see that an opposing receiver is actually positively correlated to the opponent covering the spread. They get a garbage time touchdown or something like that. Now, whether this case is actually true or not, I had to work with what I had for props available. So,
yeah, and this one always mystified me. Like how they treat this as no negative correlation, but like if the team's winning, like there's a chance that there's like a just kind of backdoor touchdown, or teams like, especially for a receiver, like they're trying to catch up, and of course they're going to score. I mean, someone's got to score.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying is I haven't even gone through and broken down all the different amounts of overpay because, like I said, quarterback passing yards, that is also reversely correlated. They're paying it out as if it's reversely correlated to the opponent covering the spread, and I think they're positively correlated. Now, how much are they? I can't put my finger on that number, but I can say that they're positive and that they're, if they're overpaying me for it, then mathematically, I got to be making money long term, which is what I've already proved out.
Yeah. And I kind of experienced this when we're doing our ladders. Like usually the best ladders we found was when like quarterback passing yards over when the team is winning.
My headset's about to die. So.
What'd you say?
My headset's about to die. I just got the alarm, so I'm gonna have to cut it short. But I think I pretty much told everything anyway. So.
Okay, and if you, Lance, last question, pass us, and can you head-to-head wins on FanDuel? Don't know if you've have already done a video about these props. Anything on that, or
I don't know. I think that's a question for you. The head-to-head wins for just NFL teams.
Oh, Pat, are you talking? I don't know if you're talking about over wins or not. But anyway, I'm not quite sure about that, but yeah. So okay, so you said your headset's about to cut out. So
I got a minute or two, so we're probably going to wrap it up, I guess, at this point. But
okay.
I guess I kind of made my point on overpay. You know,
Yeah.
how do you calculate SGP odds, and how do you leverage, you know, their correlation odds against them, and then boost it on top of that, so that way you can actually bet SGPs and win.
Okay. Okay, you pick more who get more wins. I didn't even know they had that, so I'll look into it. Maybe it's something Andy and I can cover. Not this Wednesday, but the next one. All right, HarambeSlayer, thank you so much for joining us. Amazing insight here. Just ways to make money in the props, and thank you for doing the fantasy draft. Anything else on the way out, or that's it?
No, I think the last thing I had wanted to talk about, but I kind of ran out of time with those longest reception props. I think there's some really beatable markets there, in particular with tight ends. So that might be something that you want to poke around at, you know, come season long. I think they're really undervalued. So you can get like a tight end, you know, plus 600 to catch a pass of 20 yards.
Oh, wow.
You know, if they're running seam routes, it's really not that hard to do. So I think it's a pretty beatable market. So I guess that's kind of the last tidbit I have.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Well, we'll definitely look in that too. And I look forward to you joining the Discord whenever we get that set up. Should be in the next couple of weeks. So, HarambeSlayer, thank you so much. Everyone else, thank you so much for joining us on this fantasy draft. We're going to do another fantasy draft tomorrow. We're going to have Ben Wassley on. So that'll be fun. But yeah, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit walterfootball.com for tons of free content, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.